What's good, YouTube? Wrestling Reacts back with another video. It's been a minute. Post SummerSlam, Clash in Paris just wrapped up this past weekend. As of this recording, today's video, we are going to be taking a sneak peek, a spoiler. I'm telling you, it's a spoiler. Ahead to WrestleMania 42, 2026, Las Vegas. 2 years in a row. Let that sink in. Yeah, TKO. Criminal. Um, and I have 5 guys that I think are going to be jostling over these headlining matches that we're looking ahead to at WrestleMania 42. Headlining match is characterized as either a night 1 or night 2 main event. Got 5 guys in that pool. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton. I think there's one situation where they all 5 get the main event slot, get a main event slot, but more than likely all the other scenarios lead to one man having to get in where he fits in, and that ain't the main event of WrestleMania. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the WWE Championship side of things. Cody Rhodes, as the top heel in the company, assuming, facing at WrestleMania 42 in the main event for the WWE Championship, 1 of 2 guys. Randy Orton, which would be sick. We've been waiting for Randy versus Cody. We thought we'd get it as probably Randy as a vicious heel versus babyface Cody, but it still never happened on the initial title reign of Cody, the first one. So now as things have it, it'd be the other way around. And it might be even better. Heel Cody Rhodes versus a babyface Randy Orton. Imagine Cody Rhodes pulling out his inner Randy Orton on Randy Orton. The Apex Predator going for his 15th world title. That's an absolute marquee main event at WrestleMania. And the second is Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. This scenario would happen, I think, if they decided to go with Roman and Seth, which we'll get to. I think Punk wins the Rumble, faces Cody. Randy's got to get in where he fits in, unfortunately. Yeah, to me. So we'll go over to the Raw side of things. We have Roman Reigns, we have Seth Rollins, and we have CM Punk. Those 3 guys are all intertwined in a rivalry right now. Feud. Where's it headed? Well, that's the big question. We're gonna give you that spoiler here, or at least narrow it down. Starting with Roman Reigns. Let's start with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' WrestleMania opponent could be Seth freaking Rollins. Man, we've been waiting for this match for just, in the recent WWE side, like post-pandemic, how did Seth not, he had one match with Roman at Royal Rumble 2022. To my understanding, that's the only match they had, and it ended in double count out, and we never got any more there was no more chapters and Roman never defended in that title reign, the historic title reign, 1,316 days against Seth Rollins again. It's just no sense. They should have had a second sequel because of the double count out. And we've just been waiting for Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, just pitting those two. There's no better time than right now with the WrestleMania 40 main event thing happening, and then WrestleMania 41, and then what's happening right now. They have a rich history, but they're as connected as ever right now. And so there's no better time to pit Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns on the grandest stage of them all. It just feels like those two it wouldn't be right if they never had a WrestleMania match. And it feels overdue. and it feed families. Roman Reigns' second opponent for WrestleMania could be CM Punk. This match is the biggest match that WWE can run. Ever since CM Punk came back, it was like, all right, we got a list of guys that we really want to see him feud with. 3 matches: feud with Seth, a feud with Roman, a feud with LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Gunther. But there was no bigger name. It was like Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is an absolute, like, as big money match as you can get. And ever since CM Punk came back, we're like, CM Punk versus Roman's destined to obviously happen somewhere, but it needs to happen at WrestleMania. It's the biggest CM Punk match they could do. It's the biggest match they can do in the company, in my opinion. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, showcase the Immortals, WrestleMania 42 or 43. I think it'll be one of the next two. We'll get that. That'll be an iconic match. Roman and Punk at WrestleMania, man. And Roman Reigns' final option would be a match at WrestleMania 42. Will be with Braun Breaker. Now, obviously, I don't think this scenario is going to happen. This scenario would be if Seth versus Punk, and then Cody versus Randy, and then Roman versus Breaker. I think Roman's going to face Breaker at a premium live event prior to Mania, and then get to Seth Rollins for Mania. And Triple H specifically, he loves to drag shit on and way too, like, it's like, bro, we only have so long to live. Like, these wrestlers only have so long to wrestle. Like, what are we waiting for? So there's a very little chance that he's gonna pull the Vision turn that quick and Braun Breaker, but it'd be sick. Braun Breaker, he wins the Royal Rumble. He goes like these. He challenges Seth Rollins at WrestleMania and dethrones him. Braun Breaker era begins. He takes Paul Heyman. It's crazy because that match wouldn't even main event in that scenario, because Cody and Randy's got him being in one of the 2 main events, and Punk and Roman is your night 2 main event. So Seth and Breaker would have to open, but it'd be sick. That scenario is the least likely. I just don't see. I think Breaker and Roman will happen prior to WrestleMania. CM Punk's possible opponents: 1, Roman Reigns. We went over that with Roman's matches. We forgot one Roman Reigns option. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. They rerun the triple threat. Yeah. It would be intriguing this time for the world title. Things would just be different. A lot more would have happened. Times have changed. World title would be on the line. Sequel, rerun it. Intrigued, but like to have fresh WrestleMania matches. Such a big event. Such a just grand event to not have fresh stuff happen at it. I don't want to see a rerun. Obviously, in some cases, like Rock and Austin, yeah, you want to see it. But when there's different things you can do, like a Roman and Punk, or a Roman and Seth, or even a Punk and Seth, it's like, we want to see something else. But the triple threat's in play, and that's the one scenario that gets all 5 of those guys into a main event slot, and they all fit in. Randy Orton would face Cody Rhodes, and then the triple threat. You got your 2 main events. They all 5 fit in. But I don't think that one's happening either. But definitely a lot more likely than that first one. With Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns, and Seth and Punk. Now we are on to CM Punk. So we have to cover the triple threat. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns we've covered with Roman's matches. The triple threat we've covered with Roman's matches. Cody Rhodes we've touched on a little bit. Cody Rhodes CM Punk would win the Royal Rumble, I would assume, and he'd go on to challenge Cody Rhodes, heel Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. It's an absolute big money marquee match. CM Punk versus a heel Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, the biggest prize in the industry, which is absolutely a marquee match. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? Bro, what are you talking about? Seth Rollins. How is he not going to choose Seth Rollins for the world title? Well, I personally think Seth Rollins should drop the title prior to WrestleMania, so then that opens up a world title match. Or more importantly, Seth and Roman, I think that match shouldn't have the World Heavyweight Championship connected to it, only because, well, two reasons. One, it just doesn't. That match don't need it. It's an absolute iconic WrestleMania match that we're getting. It don't need a title. It's like, you know, like Rock and Hogan. It don't need a title. But secondly, I don't think Roman Reigns, I just don't see Roman Reigns fighting for a secondary championship that he's hated on so much in the recent past. But I think Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins would be no title, and then that opens up the World Heavyweight Championship slot for LA Knights of the world, Sami Zayn of the world, which would be awesome. And I love that route. And that's why I think CM Punk would choose Cody Rhodes in that route. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. And then that World Heavyweight Championship match for some big moment for some star. Yeah, that's the route. That leaves Randy out. Randy is going to have to get in where he fits in. Yeah, to me, but that'd be unfortunate. But for Randy, hopefully it'd have some other big match, and not some celeb shit or something. But CM Punk versus Seth Rollins is the last one on our list for CM Punk. They've been teasing this match since... They've been not teasing it, and they've ran it throughout 3 times or whatever, but it was supposed to main event WrestleMania 40. The moment CM Punk came back, it's like WrestleMania 40, World Heavyweight Championship, Punk, Rollins. Oh, hell yeah. Like, no doubt. Like, everyone wants it. The animosity. Like, Punk's fresh back in the WWE. Like, this is insane. Hell froze over. Seth couldn't be more irate. But then Punk got hurt. They decided to do it on Raw Netflix. It got moved to Raw Netflix Premiere. Then they did the triple threat at 41. So we still haven't gotten Seth versus Punk at WrestleMania. And so that would be awesome. They're very much feuding still. And if we get that match, we've been waiting for it. It'd be sick. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, World Heavyweight Championship, WrestleMania. Showcase of the Immortals, grandest stage of them all, main event. And then that scenario, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, and Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. That's where that match comes in. If we get Punk and Seth for the world title main event, then I see Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker having their match. Should be, like I said, I think that Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns will happen prior to WrestleMania. But yeah, that route would be fine. I would be like, okay, Randy Orton. Roman Reigns, stands would be a little upset that in that route, Roman Reigns is the one out of the 5 that has to get in where he fits in, which is not in the main event, which would be unprecedented. But yeah, I think a Breaker and Reigns match would be sick to open night 2 or whatever. And then CM Punk covered the triple threat for on Roman's list. So that takes us to Seth Rollins as our final person. Seth Rollins anyone? Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, which we touched on. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, which we just touched on. The triple threat that we touched on. And then there's one other possible opponent Seth Rollins could face at WrestleMania 42. This feels unlikely. Like Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. Breaker wins the Rumble. Challenges Seth. He goes like these. He turns on the Vision. Like, you think Breaker's going to choose Cody in the WWE Championship. He chooses Seth. Dethrones Seth at WrestleMania. Takes his wise man, his oracle, and the Braun Breaker era has begun. The Braun Breaker era has begun. Braun Breaker. The Braun Breaker era has begun. I just think that that's definitely going to get stretched. I think the Vision turning on each other prior to WrestleMania is just very unlikely, especially with Triple H and how he likes to drag things on. I think I would be surprised if Braun Breaker turned on Seth Rollins in 2029, man. Comes to Hunter. Yeah, so Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker for the world title. Roman versus Punk in that scenario. And Randy versus Cody for the WWE Championship. It's crazy because Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight Championship would not main event in that scenario. Roman and Punk's just your night 2 main event, and your WWE Championship is going to be, and your quarterback, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, night 1 main event. Punk Roman night 2. Breaker and Rollins open one of the nights for the World Heavyweight night 1. I just don't think that scenario is going to happen. I think that scenario is a little bit more likely than a Braun Breaker and the Roman Reigns one, where we get Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns, and we get Seth and Punk. But I think Punk and Roman and Seth and Breaker and Cody and Randy, I think that one's doesn't have much more of a look. Anyways, those are our scenarios. My gut, as you might have picked up on, as it was hinted across the video, but the scenario that I ultimately think is going to happen, not necessarily what I want to happen, totally okay with it, but what my gut is telling me is we're going to get the scenario. We're going to get Seth Rollins defending his World Heavyweight Championship against, Seth Rollins. I personally want him to lose the title. And we're going to get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at the Showcase of the Immortals. They're going to throw down at WrestleMania. We get Rollins, we get Reigns. Man. And CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble. Challenges Cody Rhodes, heel Cody for the WWE Championship. Absolute marquee match. And I ultimately think that's where we're headed. I think we're going to get Roman and Seth. No title. And Cody Rhodes as a heel versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. It leaves Randy Orton out, and it's very unfortunate. And it's why I kind of not like... It's the scenario I think is happening. It's my gut, but I don't know if it's the one I want to happen, because I really want to see Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. But we'll see, man. Which scenario do you think is most likely to play out? Do you agree? Or do you have some other scenario? Do you think it's possible that we get Jacob Fatu versus Seth Rollins for the world title? I don't know. Have you guys got any ideas for WrestleMania 42? Throw them down in the comments down below. And let me know, out of those scenarios, which one you want to see. Scratch that. Tell me which one you think Triple H is going to go with out of those. Or if Triple H is going to go with something completely different. So basically, just let me know what you think Triple H is going to end up rolling with for WrestleMania 42 as far as the headlining, top of the food chain, main events go for WrestleMania 42. It's been a pleasure. More videos coming, consistent. And it's my pleasure. Thanks for sticking around. And as always, see you next time.